everyone, and welcome to the amazing digital circuit. Star Wars 2.0. You guys have voted on this, so today I'm going to be teaching you how you can make Caine from the amazing digital circuits as a plushie. Let's get to it. So first off, you're going to need 2 black pom-poms and 4 white pom-poms. They need to be in a different size. So that's 3 out of a couple of things you need. The next things you need are white felt fabric, a little bit of blue felt fabric. I don't know why I picked up blue felt fabric. Some black felt fabric and some red felt fabric. And most importantly, you're gonna need a hot glue gun for this. Why? Well, just keep on with the tutorial. And finally, a little bit of green felt fabric. Let's get on with the tutorial. Oh shoot, wait. You also need some scissors. Alright, now, let's focus on the teeth. Now, personally, I got it. I was going through my drawer. You're gonna need a marker. Well, you don't need one. You could use a pen. But for now, I'm gonna use a marker. What you're gonna do with the marker is that you're gonna make basically a pattern of teeth. We'll just use this shape for now. And you cut it off. Well, you cut it up. Let's cut it off. And your teeth should look like this. I drew some extras, so if you want, just follow with this pattern. You're gonna need 2 of these, so let's cut another one. Boom, now you have an extra row of teeth. Now let's move on with the head. Now for the head, you're going to use the red felt fabric. And with your marker, Now to make the jaw, which is basically the head, you're going to need your red felt fabric, and you're going to use your marker or pen and draw the pattern showed here. This is the pattern you're going to need. Now the reason that it's round is so that way you can fit the teeth. If you want, you can also make a strip of rectangle, which I'm going to show right now. Now what I was saying, of course you need to cut these. You can make a rectangle, and basically what you can do is you can glue it around the edges right here. Speaking of gluing, you're going to need your hot glue gun for this, like I said. Ignore that it's a bit dirty. It usually does that. So what you're going to do is that you're going to plug in your hot glue gun. If your hot glue gun does not have a plug, it may be used for batteries. Wait, no, it's probably battery powered or something. It depends on the hot glue gun you have. But either way, with this case, and this hot glue gun, you just, plug it in. Now, it will take some time for your hot glue gun to heat up, so I recommend waiting at least 5 to 10 minutes, I think. I don't know. Let's keep going. I've cut up an extra rectangular piece for you to use. You're also going to need 4 of these. I'm going to cut one up right now. There, you're going to like these pieces. Now, let's glue it because I'm pretty sure the hot glue's hot. So, I'm talking about the hot glue. Okay, so for the head piece, you're going to want to just apply glue on this side. Do not apply glue on the flat side, only on the round side. And when the glue is applied, when you apply the glue, we're going to put the rectangular piece and just wrap it around the round. I'm going to show you the finished part. Okay, so remember when I said to not glue the flat part? And by that I mean the straight part, and just only glue the rounded part? Yeah, you're going to also have to glue on the flat part too. I know I said what I said, and I'm sorry. Anyways, let me show you the finished product. Well, at least one of the finished pieces. Now, of course, things like this are going to happen. For me, this literally happens because I touched the glue. But you're going to want to avoid touching that. You're going to have to, if that happens, just cut it with some scissors. But, of course, you're going to have to seal it. So you're going to use the other piece too. So just glue on the piece like this. But don't glue it all. Just leave a little gap right here so that way you can put in the stuffing. Alright, so glue it like this. And you're going to want to leave a little gap right here like shown. Oh, and one more. Oh my gosh, it's stuck to my finger. Alright. One more thing. You need this. I forgot to say it in the start, and I'm sorry. You're gonna need some polyfill stuffing, fiber fill. You're gonna need this. You're gonna need this for your stuffing. No plushie is a plushie without stuffing. But for now, I'm just gonna use some leftover pom-poms, small ones, so that way they can fit right there. I know I said to use stuffing, but small pom-poms can work too. I'm so sorry. But anyways, pom-poms can also work. So we're going to use some small pom-poms. Like I said, you can use stuffing, but for now, I'm just going to use this for the jaw. Now that you put the pom-poms in there, you're going to have to glue up the seal. So yeah, seal it up. You're going to want to pinch it so that way the hot glue, doesn't fail on you. So that way it doesn't spread open. So yeah, just pinch it and it'll do just fine. Just pinch it until the glue's dry. Now repeat this process for the next piece. Also, you're going to notice that you are going to run out of hot glue. So you're going to need to buy a pack of these hot glue sticks. It doesn't matter what size you get, just get the ones that fit your hot glue stick. Oh my gosh. I meant get the size that fits on your hot glue gun. And it kind of matters on which size you get. Because I got the mini size hot glue gun, you're going to need the mini size hot glue sticks, so just these. Okay, good. Now that you have 2 of these pieces, you're going to want to get your black felt fabric and cut a rectangle piece. Now what you're going to do is that you're going to glue on the fabric onto the back of each of these pieces. And these jaw pieces, you're going to have to glue like this. Basically what I was trying to say is that you get a piece of black felt fabric and you glue it in the back of the jaw. That way you can have it open and close if you want to. Now, you can also glue the teeth. Now, let's glue the teeth. You're going to want to put the glue like this and apply the teeth like this. Now you do the same with the bottom. Now this is how your jaw should probably look like. If it looks a bit different, that's okay. Now let's make the top hat. Now to make the hat, you're going to need this piece right here, this rectangular piece, and another circle, but in a small circle. Now what you're going to do is glue the rectangle piece and turn it into a cylinder. Apply some glue on the edge just like this. Oh my gosh. And then you're gonna take your small circle and put it on top of the cylinder. But of course, you're gonna need to put some glue. Now once you're done with that, fill the hat with some stuffing, or preferably with some pom-poms. I have to say this so that way you don't get this mixed up, but you don't have to use pom-poms for the entire plushie. You can use it for certain parts of the plushie, like the jaw or the hat. Stuffing is of course recommended, but right now I'm using small pom-poms because I have too much of these. Now once you filled the hat with stuffing or pom-poms, you glue it onto the flat circle piece, the bigger one. Now I cut it to size because the hat is a bit small. You can make the small hat or you can make the hat large. Doesn't matter what kind of hat, how big or small you make the hat, just make a hat for Caine. Now apply some glue to the cylinder and of course you glue it on just like this. Now glue it on Caine. We're gonna put the hat right here because I don't know where the hat goes. Hold on, I need to check my reference. Okay, I checked a picture of Caine. Well, I looked up a picture of Caine and yeah, it goes here. You could also put it here if you want, but I'm gonna put it here if you guys want to. So yeah, like I said so many times, glue it on. I've always wanted to say that. Now that you've glued on the hat onto the jaw, we gotta do one more step, which is put in the eyes, of course. Now take your medium, well, I don't know if it's medium, just take these small pom-poms and glue them onto the mouth. But before you do, let's make the pupils. Now for this next step, you're gonna need your blue and green felt fabric for the pupils. Now with your marker, you draw the pattern showed here. draw a small circle on the gray fabric and on the blue felt fabric. Once you cut out the pupils, you're gonna want to cut out two small black circles or ovals and two very tiny white circles for the shine. Of course, these circles are from white and black felt fabric respectively. Now, you glue those features onto the pupils just like this, exactly like that. And now you're going to take your pom-poms and glue the pupils onto the eyes. Now you glued on just like this, and now we're going to glue on the eyes to the mouth. Glue the eyes onto the head, and it should look like this. Make sure you match up the pupils. If you don't, it's okay. But this is what it should look like. I think it looks awesome. Now let's work onto the body. Now you take your red felt fabric and you draw the pattern showed here with a Sharpie. You could use a Sharpie or a pen. Doesn't matter which one. Just make sure you draw this pattern and you cut it with the scissors. Now that you cut out the pieces, I need to remind you that this is the front part, the front piece, and this goes in the back because this piece is longer. This part of the piece is longer than the front one. This is meant to be short, this is meant to be long. So, and of course, you're supposed to glue it on together just like this. Now, let's glue it. And it should be glued just like this. Now, you should, of course, leave one hole for the stuffing, but eventually you're supposed to leave one hole right here for the legs. And then, let's make the legs, actually. You're going to want to cut out two big black squares, and you're going to roll them similarly to how we did it with the hat. Now, let's roll it and glue it. Now, an interesting thing to do is that you're going to want to glue one side of the cylinder closed and one open. This is not just for the stuffing. This is so that way it can be, this is, of course, for the instructions, so follow along. Now that you're supposed to do it like this, okay? Glue one part flat, just like this, and pinch it. Now let's add the stuffing. So apparently the stuffing that I bought, this stuffing, came with a stick. So what you can do is that you can just put the stuffing like, I'm sorry, horrible camera. Basically what I'm trying to say is that you put the stuffing right here, and with the stick you poke it inside. If you get what I mean. Just poke the stuffing onto the limb. Now, once you're done stuffing the leg, you're gonna use one of the black pom-poms and glue it onto the leg just like this. Now it should look like this. Now repeat the process with the other one. Now that you're done with the legs, what I'm gonna do right now is cut like a little piece right here. Now you glue on the legs just like this. Now let's add the stuffing to the body. Now that you applied the glue, now that you apply the stuffing, hot glue the hole so that way it can be sealed. It's important to pinch the hole so that way the glue can, stick to the seal. Now, you grab your white felt fabric and with your Sharpie, draw the pattern showed here. Draw this exact pattern, for the front of Caine's chest. Now you cut off the triangle and place it onto Caine's chest, just like this. Now, of course, you're going to have to glue it. Now that you glued on the triangle, you're going to want to cut out two small black circles from the black felt fabric and glue them onto the white triangle. Now that you applied the buttons, get a small rectangular strip of black felt fabric, and with the same black felt fabric, you cut out this bow tie looking pattern. Now you're going to wrap the small rectangular piece around the bow. Now I'm going to show it to you after I'm done gluing it. Basically just like this. You wrap around the black fabric, the black rectangle, and it'll look like a bow, just like this. Of course you're going to need to glue it, which is why there's a mess of glue. And of course, you're going to glue the bow tie right here. Now that you glued on the bow tie, you're going to take these pieces of black felt fabric. Cut these pieces of black felt fabric. And you're going to cut triangles, like right here. I'm going to show it to you. Basically like this. You cut 2 triangles off, and now you glue it to the body like this. But of course, like, under the bow tie. I'm going to show it to you. Basically, you glue on the pieces just like this. Now let's work on the arms. Now, of course, similarly, you take 2 big red felt fabric squares and you fold them into a cylinder, just like this, and of course glue one side closed and leave one open for the stuffing. And it's also a bit similar to how I did it with the legs. So basically, you glue the arms in a cylinder, glue one part like that, and you apply the stuffing. Now, take your white pom-poms and glue them onto each arm just like this. This is how the arm should look like, and of course, glue them onto each side of Caine's body. Now that you've done so, this is how the body should look like. Just glue the arms just like that. Wait for the glue to dry if you want to. Now, we glue Caine's head onto the body. Glue the head onto the body just like that, and now you have your Caine plushie. I'm gonna be honest, this is the first time in a few years that I've actually made a plushie. Oh my gosh. This looks amazing. My gosh. Now, if you want, I can make Bubble in the next video. So if you guys want me to make Bubble, leave it in the comment section down below. But we're not just done yet. We're gonna make his cane. Now, to make Caine's cane, you're gonna wanna fold a really long rectangular piece and glue it together. Then you're gonna wanna get this small yellow pom-pom and glue it right here. Once you glued it, you're gonna glue, if you want to, you don't have to, I guess, but you can glue the staff, you can glue his cane onto his hand. And there you have it, your very own Caine plushie. Thank you guys so much for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe. And if you guys want me to do any more plushies like this, let me know in the comments down below, and maybe I'll put up a poll about which other character I should do next. And I'll see you guys next time in the next video. Have a great day, everybody.